If you look at the bigger picture, you know, Africans function fine. Africans could sort themselves out if it wasn't for the epidemic diseases, and the number one that doesn't sort them out is malaria. Well, once I'd worked on AIDS, and I was very intensely focused on AIDS, and I didn't veer off it. Once I saw the technology working, then of course it's obvious that the same technology of epidemic diseases, the same PC technology, could apply to any epidemic disease, including malaria.
One of the interesting observations we did in Malawi was that AIDS patients that had received PC1 and had malaria all the time before, since taking PC1, had no more malaria. For 6 months, no more attacks of malaria, showing that their immune system had really improved. But besides that, we also saw several cases of patients that had malaria regularly, were HIV negative, and that had received a remedy that Peter had called PC malaria. And also these patients, they were just free from malaria. Now, this was quite amazing. So what I did is I checked the records of the health center, because I thought this might also be a seasonal influence. And it appeared that in the month that these patients had no more malaria, actually the center saw more malaria cases than all other months of the year. So in April, May and June, in that year, they had the highest incidence of malaria, while these patients that used to have malaria all the time were free.
When I see someone, maybe like a child or someone else, coming for example, has got a problem with malaria and just prescribe PC malaria, soon after that I found that it is totally gone. And most of the people, after giving this, you'll find that maybe for 2 years without any attack.
I remember a patient coming very sick. She was brought here and she was just lying on her arms while waiting, and during the consultation as well, the whole time just lying on her arms, making a real China picture. So I gave her China, and she was also really cold, shivering, and observed her for about half an hour, and nothing changed. Usually in half an hour you can see a change. I repeated China again, nothing happened. Then I changed to arsenicum, also no change. And then I gave her PC malaria. And she improved. Within an hour she was better. She started to ask for food, which was really a good sign. She started eating, went home, and then she came back the next day sitting upright, not leaning on their arms anymore. And I saw her a week afterwards as well, fine. And I've seen her since I've been coming here often, and she never had malaria again.
Bom, naoma kunivou ya masinha. Bote viko recevoir ile madawa viko bagbasha kwa bien. Bon, pour le moment hawayaniambia si nani engine kama ilishajiannonce.
And what I think is really good about PC malaria is for the people working here, the homeopaths working here, that sometimes it's really difficult finding the remedies. You have the symptoms, you have the diagnosis, and you give PC malaria. It would make it much more easier, and you don't have the side effects of Fansidar or quinine. As far as I can remember, I haven't seen cases that did not respond to PC malaria.
Before I was feeling malaria, but now I'm not feeling malaria anymore. Geuka tuone. Ukukuluku. Okay. Ni dawa yenyewe uko naikunywa au uko unainani? Uko nainama?
PC malaria. So many people, they were calling me PC malaria. You know the reason why? Most of the cases, when, for example, I give her a homeopathic remedy like China or arsenica,
Yes.
and coming again with that problem, coming again with that problem. Then at the same time, I was just prescribing PC malaria. And the result is very wonderful. Because most of the children, they are getting better with this PC malaria.
Klasi yangu wewe pale walikuwa wanajikunja abajikunji basha kwa na manaanza nao kuwa na maji na nguvu kidogo.
Basi mko wenye walitombe malaria ilikuwa kama ile dawa
Kwa walitumia malaria balisikia tena mama lakini wale wenyewe walikuwa wanapenda walikuwa wanaogopa dawa akasema hata idai kwa uchumi moja.
When I became more intensely involved in this work in Africa, I traveled to several other African countries like Burundi, Congo, Central African Republic, Kenya, and used this remedy PC malaria in acute cases, in chronic cases. And the observation until now is that the vast majority of the patients just respond to it wonderfully.